Welcome to another episode of Editor's Vlog. This is Lyndsey Hicks. I'm Editor-in-Chief of Gaming Insurrection. And I decided I was going to do another video and possibly show you guys how we do GI. This is the first quarter 2013. It's already been uploaded. Everything's been put on the site. Everything looks fantabulous. And so I decided that, since I had some downtime, I would do a video showing you what I do with getting all my stuff together for GI and what the writers turn in and how we put it all together, how we record some video, that kind of thing. So we're going to start, and I'm going to keep this recording of me, and I'm going to record my desktop, which is over there. I'm going to record my desktop so I can show you all the programs that we use and what exactly we do when we decide we're going to put out an issue of Gaming Insurrection. So, alright, we're going to get started now. So, forgive me if I'm a little distracted here. So, alright, first things first. The thing that we do with Gaming Insurrection, I should explain that I am a copy editor and page designer for a newspaper. Okay? Which means, basically, I make a newspaper look the way it's supposed to look. I put it together every day with the help of other people, but individually I lay out pages in the newspaper and make it look a certain way and make ad stacks flow a certain way, and I edit text that goes on the pages. So if you've ever picked up a newspaper or anything like that, hell, if you've even read it online, you'll know what that means. So that's what I do. I translated that into Gaming Insurrection many years ago, when I decided I needed some skills outside of working in newspapers so that, it looks good on my resume. And this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to work for Electronic Gaming Monthly, and I decided that the best way to do it was to get a journalism degree and learn how to do, writing and layout and design. The copy editing part came last, but it's actually what I'm best at. So, anyway, GI is an extension of that. So, all of the programs that I use here, I use either the same programs or some version of it at work. At home here, when I'm doing GI stuff, I have a subscription with Adobe, which puts out InDesign, Flash. Most people know Adobe for Flash and PDFs, because you have Adobe Reader, and Photoshop. Everybody knows Photoshop. But I use InDesign and Photoshop at work the most. And probably after that, Adobe Acrobat, because that's dealing with PDFs. And we deal with PDFs all the time. At work, I use Microsoft Word to edit text if need be. But at home, I prefer using OpenOffice. I prefer using that because it's free and it's pretty good. So, but I have all of the Adobe programs that I use at work, plus some at home that I don't have at work. So we're going to start showing you off with a little bit of the desktop, and I'm going to start recording my desktop now. And I'm hoping this works. So, alright, first things first. When I say I use OpenOffice, I use OpenOffice 3. And I use it because I like using OpenOffice to open up stories and look at them, and I can convert between OpenOffice format and Microsoft Word format. And I can also use Excel to do charts and stuff and drawings and databases. I mean, it's basically the Microsoft Word suite that, if you'll notice, we also had in a review of in Technology and / Tech Geeks in the first quarter 2013 issue. So, to quickly get started, I use it to edit my stories. So I'm gonna try to open something really quickly here. I have a drive. Also, this is important. I have a drive that is devoted specifically to Gaming Insurrection, and that drive has all of the things that we do on it. It has all of our images, like our stock images, such as our column signatures, which will be the little pictures of us and all. Our stories, our layout, our online stuff, our comic stuff. I even had ads once upon a time. I had advertisements, and so I made those and saved them on the drive. So we're going to go to this thing called issues that I made, and then 2013. So you can see what our stories look like. And usually each quarter has a folder that says, it says art, layout, and stories. And that's for me. That's for my own sake, because I'm the only person that deals with it. So if we had more people, that would be one thing, but we don't. We have 4 people, and I am the editor-in-chief. That means I do everything. I write, I edit, I lay out, take pictures, interview people, that kind of stuff. I used to do podcasts. I do the video, all that kind of stuff. So, I have these folders laid out for myself. So we're going to go to the previous issue that we just put out, and you can see the stories. I have my edited versions, and I have the original versions, and they're all slugged with a certain thing. And by slugged, that means it has a certain title to it, a certain prefix. Slug is a newspaper term. So you can see it has a lot of different categories for things, and this is to help me so that when I go to put things on the page, when I go to lay things out and put it on the page, I know what it's for, and I know what it's called, and it's got a consistent name to it. So let's just open up my column, which is called The Cry of War. I came up with that many years ago, and I don't even know why I came up with that. Other than it's supposed to be gaming insurrection. So, as you can see, when it opens up, I've written this column, and it's double spaced because when I edit things, I learned the old school way of taking a story, printing it out, and editing. And then I would take it and print it out, double space it, and edit it. And that's the way I learned. That was when I was in school. My mentor was like, yeah, I need you to do that. It made it so much easier for him. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to need you to do that. So I did that. But with Gaming Insurrection, I also do that. And so, as you can see, my story is in a certain format that I like. And it's easy for me to edit it when it's time to edit it. So, I wrote this several months ago, and I edited it, and this is the unedited version, so you're going to maybe see some mistakes in here. Even I, the master copy editor, still make mistakes in my writing, and I always have to go back and double check. I'm a very good editor, but like every other editor in the world, I have to have somebody edit behind me. So, and in here, it works a lot like Microsoft Word, where it has the red underline for stuff that's misspelled. Yeah, well, Dreamcast is spelled correctly, as is Capcom. I'm supposed to be teaching it and adding things to the dictionary, so, yeah. But, so that's just an example of what our stories look like. Okay, so when we get to this folder, when I get to this folder, you'll see where I have the edited versions. Okay, now I have all of these. These have been edited. They had the changes made to them. They've been saved, and they're all saved as Microsoft Word documents, as you can see. I don't know if you can see that because the thing is going away really fast. But it's saved as a Microsoft Word document so that I can pull it into InDesign later. And then I also have a folder in here that's called Web Version. Web Version is so that when I go into Adobe Muse, which is on my little taskbar down at the bottom here, Adobe Muse will be able to recognize the story so that I can pull it in as a text document and then edit it however I see fit to make it fit on our webpage. So that's how, in a nutshell, we make our stories work. Generally, my editors and my /writers will write their stories. They'll choose what they want. I send out an email and say, okay, guys, this is what this is the deadlines, because I set the deadlines. I set a print schedule, and I say, all right, this is what's what. Send me what you want to do, because they pick their own stories, as do I. So, excuse me. We tend to have a discussion about it if they decide they want to do that. Now, if they don't want to do that, then whatever. It doesn't really matter to me. I can always adjust. So once they decide what they're going to write about, they send it to me and they say, okay, this is what we're going to do. So I then make a budget and I say, all right, this is how many stories we have. This is how many pages this is going to be, because this is how many I know that I'm going to do. I also have my feature schedule set way in advance, so I know what I'm going to do anyway. And then after that, I then wait for everybody to write their stories. I write my stories. I edit my stories. I edit their stories as they come in. I grant extensions if they need it. And then once everybody's stuff is in, I then probably go through and finish editing. At the same time, because I already know what they've picked, I can go get art, which is a big deal. I use, and the thing about doing art for us is we're not a multinational corporation like, say, EGM. We're not big like that, or Shack News. We don't have people sending us art, to put on our website or whatever. We just have, we have what everybody else has, which is, the internet. So I will use art from other sites. However, I do give them credit. I give them credit and say photos used courtesy of whomever. Most of the time it's GameSpot. Sometimes it's Shack News, because Shack News is very reliable and they're very good, and they make their art really big, which is very helpful. But I appreciate that Shack News does that. And I will give credit in a heartbeat. I'm not about that plagiarism business. That's not cool. So, so in that case, once I finish with the art, I'm gathering art. I also use emulators, and I'm not gonna lie, I use emulators. However, I have the original systems as well. Most of the original systems, if not all of the original games. And the ones that I don't have, I will put that I use an emulator or something like that. I mean, it's pretty obvious. So, yeah, we try to be on the up and up here. We do not want to get sued. So, once all that's in place, then I start the layout of everything. Though most of the time I do have my, I have my stuff done I already have the features done. I had to think about that. I already have the features done. So it's pretty set up where that it goes the same every quarter. So, alright, we're going to stop here for stories, and we're going to get on to the next part because we're at 10 minutes almost for stories and things. And my recording limit is 10 minutes. So, 10 minutes at a time. So, the next part we're going to jump into is the layout and photographs. So, stick with me and I'll be right back.